I think as long as the kids were involved, it would still be a kind of a sick thing, because everybody's kind of saying that the issue is that, sure, you could say that it's just because they're looking for Trump, but really they want the people that are involved to not have power. Because if that's the case, bro, that's kind of crazy. If you think the only issue with this shit is that Trump is involved and you don't find nothing else wrong with it, gang, you need to be watched. You need to be watched, gang. Shooters, niggas don't really be shooters. Shit go left, I know how to maneuver. I can get bread on the block of computers. I ain't bulletproof, but I'm up first. I'm too paranoid, I don't be trusting. We here. Jersey, nigga. New Jersey. We here with another video, bro. And I think in one of my other videos, I don't know if I posted this on February 2nd or 3rd, but I'm recording this on February 2nd. And on today, I recorded another video saying I was not in town with a lot of the new Jeffrey Epstein shit. I was just seeing everything on Twitter and everything, and I was like, damn, I gotta get home and do a video on this. By the time I get home, another one of my favorite YouTubers, one of my favorite I call them commentary style YouTubers, did a video on the topic. So we're gonna react to it, man. Millions of new Epstein files just released. A video by Penguins, bro. You already know. Hit it. Let's get into the video.
Actually huge wow. A massive batch of Epstein files just dropped in hot, fresh off the battle bus here from the top turnbuckle out of nowhere. I didn't think we'd even see any more with the DOJ putting up that huge stink even recently about like how courts can't force them to release it, this and that. It seemed like this was never going to happen because getting them to comply with the law was like pulling teeth. So they were a month late, but they actually released like millions of Epstein files. And there are huge, disgusting, evil things that have been uncovered in this latest batch of Epstein files. This time around, it's a little different than their previous release where there were hundreds of pages of blacked out redactions, and that was basically it. This is what you saw with the Epstein files, except I thought that was going to make the camera go black. You get the idea. It was basically just staring into the fucking void. It was just pitch black because everything was redacted. It was just a lot of nothing. But even amidst that nothing, they were so fucking incompetent that they left in the ability to unredact the files yourself, where people were able to catch them breaking the law, where a lot of the redacted names were not names of victims. They were various other things, and a lot of the redactions were clearly not victims. Sometimes it even seemed like the redactions were there to protect the names of potential clients and perpetrators, which again is a complete violation of the Epstein Files Transparency Act that they were supposed to be following. But again, even with them farting out completely blacked out pages to protect these pedophiles in power, there were still a lot of huge revelations that came from this, such as co-conspirators that for some reason they never pursued. Fiddlesticks. They're gone. Now time to pretend they don't exist. Like Kash Patel under oath lying about it. Perjury Patel, by the way, still not punished for it. And speaking of unpunished, you know who else has been unpunished? Every fucking Epstein client, all of these rapists and pedophiles, all of them still just getting away with these unthinkable crimes. No one being handcuffed and thrown in the slammer. Doesn't even seem like they're pursuing any investigations or anything into it. Nope. Across 2 administrations now, no fucking arrests outside of Maxwell, who Trump has done everything in his power to ensure she is treated like a queen at a new summer camp that she now resides at. Barely even a fucking prison. This is lunacy of the highest caliber. Now anyway, I know I'm getting kind of sidetracked here with like the previously on Dragon Ball Z with this whole saga. The most recent batch of Epstein files came out a couple hours ago. Millions of files, so people are still combing through them. But what they are finding is alarming. Trump's name, of course, is all over these files. His name appears more in these Epstein files than Green Eggs and Ham appeared in the fucking Green Eggs and Ham Dr. Seuss book. His name is everywhere with numerous allegations about terrible, awful things. Some things we had heard little bits and pieces about from previous Epstein releases, but this one has significantly more, including this FBI report that claims Trump has been compromised by Israel. which anyone who's been paying attention to this administration shouldn't really be surprised at. I don't think anyone heard that and recoiled in their chair going, what? If anyone's followed everything that's been going on in regards to Trump and Israel, it should be no surprise that the FBI believed he was compromised, is compromised as well, most likely. But this is, again, new information that is hitting the public here from official sources in these Epstein files. These are big. Another huge name appearing in here is Bill Gates. So Bill Gates had an exchange with Jeffrey Epstein, and I think it's been known for a long time Bill Gates was associated with Jeffrey Epstein, but this information here is new that talks about how he contracted an STD apparently, and had asked Jeffrey Epstein to provide him with antibiotics that he could secretly dose Melinda with. He had contracted it from Russian girls apparently. Another massive name coming in is Elon Musk, who had an email chain with Jeffrey Epstein that was in these files about him trying to plan a visit to Jeffrey Epstein's island.
I seen something on fucking Twitter. Elon Musk, he released some big ass statement about saying that he had nothing to do with that. Let me see if I got that. Let me see if I got that saved here. So before I even knew that Elon Musk was even inside the Epstein files, I opened up my Twitter and was literally greeted by this on my front page. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has fought harder for the full release of the Epstein files and prosecutions of who abused children more than I did, knowing full well that the legacy media, far-left propagandists, and those who are actually guilty would, 1, admit nothing, 2, deny everything, and 3, make counter accusations against him. I knew that I would be smeared relentlessly despite never have attending his parties or been on his Lolita Express plane or set foot on his creepy island or done anything wrong at all. Nonetheless, the extreme pain of being accused of being the opposite of who I am was worth it. The strong must protect those cannot protect themselves, especially vulnerable children. I will gladly accept any amount of future pain to do more to protect kids and give them a chance to grow up and have happy lives. So y'all tell me if y'all believe this shit, or y'all think he's just doing some crazy damage control. I don't know much about Elon Musk. I don't even know if Elon Musk. How rich was Elon Musk when Epstein was doing all that shit? How? Hold on. You know what? It don't even fucking matter, bro. What's true gonna come to light, and what's false gonna also come to light that is false. Y'all tell me what y'all think, though. You know what I'm saying?
Through to the island, and he was trying to make plans to go visit the island. These new files also expose blatant lies that a lot of really powerful people tried to peddle to get themselves out of hot water in regards to their close connection to Jeffrey Epstein, like Howard Lutnick. Howard Lutnick is Trump's commerce secretary, and he claimed he cut ties with Jeffrey Epstein in 2005, yet in these files we can clearly see he was emailing Epstein in 2012 planning a trip out there, saying, "Hi Jeff, we are landing in St. Thomas early Saturday afternoon and planning to head over to St. Bart on Monday at some point. Where are you located? Does Sunday evening
I don't know
for
why
dinner
y'all
sound
still
good?
expect
I have
the
another
truth,
couple,
man.
Michael and Mary Lehrman, with me on my boat, and each of us has 4 children. 2 16s, 2 14s, a 13, a 12, an 11, and a 7-year-old. Thanks, Howard." What a disgusting freak. He's even listing out the ages of the children that are joining them on their planned trip to Epstein's Island. This is in 2012. That's quite a few years after 2005, Howard. Seems like you told a big-time fib. Howard said that he had visited Epstein's house in 2005, but it culminated with him getting the heebie-jeebies. He called him gross and said that was basically kaput. That was the end of his relationship with Epstein. He washed his hands of him back in 2005, but that clearly wasn't true now, was it, Howard? These emails are from 2012, planning a trip out there and making a very odd mention of a bunch of children and their ages that will be joining you to Epstein's Island. Howard Lutnick is your U.S. Secretary of Commerce under Trump right now. This is your Commerce Secretary. And he is one of many very powerful politicians whom you'll find in these new Epstein files and previous Epstein files as well. These are just a few of many names, new names as well, very powerful people who appear in these files with alleged horrible, horrible things that they have done in connection with Jeffrey Epstein and the island. It is a big, big deal. This is undoubtedly just the tip of the iceberg here. This latest batch was millions of files, so there is still a lot of information out there that hasn't been adequately combed through, and still what we are learning right now is heinous. And I feel like it should be pretty obvious that there needs to be investigations conducted here, and maybe a little bit of fucking justice. Maybe some of these evil fucking demons getting arrested, perhaps. Why are none of these people in these Epstein files even being looked into at all? Why does Kash Patel lie under oath about there not being an Epstein list or clients or like co-conspirators when we now have all this available evidence that confirms there definitely were co-conspirators, there definitely are clients, and there is nothing being done, not in this administration, not the previous administration, to hold any of them accountable or find them. This is a huge deal that nobody should be trying to like minimize the importance of. For some reason, people are trying to pretend as though this is something we should just like brush aside, move on from the whole Epstein fiasco. That is craziness.
I actually seen somebody make some like I didn't even want to give him the satisfaction of responding to him, because he was saying, right, and it could, maybe y'all believe the same thing. But he says that niggas don't really care about the Epstein files. They're only caring about it because they feel like Trump is attached to it a lot, and they just don't want him to be president. Right? He's saying if it wasn't for that, no one would care about it. But if you even pay attention to what everybody's saying the issue is with it, it's really about the kids, bro. It's genuinely about the kids. Like, I don't think it's not even as much niggas going like, yo, we gotta see if Trump's involved. We got there's some people saying it, bro, but the most common like theme I'm hearing that niggas having an issue with is about the children. So I think as long as the kids were involved, it would still be a kind of a sick thing, because everybody's kind of saying that the issue is that, sure, you could say that it's just because they're looking for Trump, but really they want the people that are involved to not have power. Because if that's the case, bro, that's kind of crazy. If you think the only issue with this shit is that Trump is involved and you don't find nothing else wrong with it, gang, you need to be watched. You need to be watched, gang.
We have so much information here. We have so many names, and we need them to be investigated. We need justice. I don't know why so many people are so okay with being governed by these monsters. It's baffling to me. It actually boggles my fucking mind. This latest batch shows even more evidence, shines even more light on these terrible, terrible things that unfolded here, and the close connections a lot of powerful people had to Epstein and the island. I'll continue to look into the files and see what else turns up from all of this. I'll be, of course, keeping my finger on the pulse of it, and I highly encourage all of you to be paying very close attention to it and the people named in these Epstein files, and the people that try and defend it as well. That is unacceptable. This is indefensible. There's no excuse for it. So anyway, wanted to just give you an update here. That's really about it. See ya.
I got some other shit I gotta show y'all, because I seen it as I was about to react to this video. They said that Bill Gates was apparently planning pandemic simulations with Jeffrey Epstein. Pandemic simulations. Let me show you. So I'm saying Bill Gates was planning pandemic simulations with Jeffrey Epstein in 2017.
We find ourselves in uncharted territory. Now here we are. We didn't simulate this. We didn't practice.
On behalf of our partners in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
So both the health policies and economic policies, we find ourselves in uncharted territory.
So that shit is kind of small. I don't know if y'all can see it on the screen or whatever like that, but highlighted on there. It says with pandemic. Strain pandemic simulations. I also heard that apparently Jay-Z was in the Epstein files. Pusha T was in the Epstein files. Man. It's a lot of shit, man. It's a lot of shit. Let me see if I actually had the link for the one that I had seen on the shit where they had Pusha T in it. Let me show y'all when they said Pusha T was in this shit. But Grok was trying to say this wasn't a verified, but it's on the .gov site. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, you can't go see it anymore. That's a little bit off. Where the post at? I got the post here still. Let me see if it's just the computer or that show. You really can't go to it no more. Let me see. Nah, you really can't. It won't let me go to the site. You know what I mean? But the post really still had the picture of the part with Pusha T in it still right here any fucking way. They only put the link into this right here in the comments somewhere so that you'd be able to go, cite the source. But when I actually clicked on it originally, it showed me. Should have screenshotted it, man. Each occasion, redacted, believes she was drugged, clouding her memory. Redacted, attributed the drugging as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers who she described as persons who established friendships with the victims. Among her handlers, redacted, identified the artist Pusha T. In approximately 2007, redacted attended a party. Redacted. Following invitation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down the street. See, now when I seen this originally, I seen Weinstein and I was like, okay, this gotta be some bullshit, right? Because unless I'm thinking differently, because in my head had Epstein in my head, and when I seen Weinstein, I'm like, who the fuck? But whatever. I'm just reading what I seen. This is all alleged. This is all allegedly, because now the link not working. So now it allegedly. Weinstein and Pusha T also attended the party and drugged her before engaging in sexual abuse. Redacted claimed to have additional information of other persons involved in the enterprise and information related to racketeering conducted in support of the trafficking. Redacted further believed she was under surveillance and stalked at the direction of the people involved in sex abuse. Redacted confirmed she was not diagnosed with any mental illness. She refused to provide her physical address, advising that she maintained no permanent address. Rather, she moved between staying at different hotels. So, niggas in the comments, as you can see, right? Let me just move this over here, right? Niggas in the comments, they're raving at this. No one really gives a fuck whether it's true or not. I personally can't say, like, you know what I'm saying? I did a little skim through the link when I got the link originally. Mind you, I was out of town. I was busy. I couldn't really sit there and get in depth with it. You know what I mean? I can't tell you if I remember seeing Pusha T name right there on that site or not. But as y'all just seen, and I'm going to leave that in the video, when I try to go to the link, it's not working no more. Right? Y'all may not know what to compare it to before, but if anybody here, look, it has like 234,000 views on that comment. Right? If any of y'all seen that and y'all clicked on it, y'all seen it, you'll know. Like, if something was there. Something was there. But look at that. We got people in the comments. Actual people are going to defend this. Just watch. You know what I mean? Most of these, I got to remember, these are a lot of Drake fans. I'm a Drake fan, but I'm not like a die-hard, like, I'm going to go to the, like, there's Drake fans that are still in the beef. Like, with Drake and Push, and all Drake's beefs, they're, like, still in it after the fact. They're, like, holding a grudge with Drake. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that Drake fan. I wonder if the losers like Needle Drop will speak about this. No, he will stand by them and continue to give shit opinions. Yeah, I think it's a lot of bias here. So you don't really know. Look, when the ops genuinely in Epstein files, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. I don't know. I'm not sure. It sounds kind of crazy. But like I said, what is true will come to light, and what is not true, you know what I'm saying, that will be exposed as well. Some other shit here too.
This is one of the biggest videos I've ever made, potentially, and I would never unalive myself. So there was this email. It says, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video." Now that's coming from Jeffrey Epstein. It was censored who he sent that to. But whoever it was said, I am in China, right? What day was that? That was in April of 2009, right? Huh. Well, this guy, he was in China in April of 2009. Schmenjman. Second Sasu. Yeah. What's it say there? And in the U.S., I'll be in the U.S. second week of May. I bet he wasn't, though, was he? Holy shit, he was. Damn. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Wow. I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like he said, coincidence? I don't know. I'm not a nigga that look, I'm a big believer in anything is possible. So I'm never gonna brush nothing off. Like I'm not a conspiracy theorist though, but I think anything is possible. And with the way shit done like be happening every single day, I can't do nothing but just sit here and be like, you know what? Let me just see. Let me just see what go. Let me just see what happens, and let me just see. Because it's like you can't even say, bro, that's impossible anymore. Because the impossible wouldn't have been made possible. That's all I got for the video for right now, bro. We're going to see where all this shit progress to, bro. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you stay updated with every video I put up on this channel. All the links are going to be in the description. And as always, I hope y'all was entertained, because that's all I care about, is that y'all were entertained. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace out. It ain't no need for discussion. I just gotta keep working. Whole lot of things that I'm trying to purchase. Trying to see the hills, only seeing murder. I ain't rich, but my pockets ain't hurting. Locked in, so I ain't with the flirting. Know it's cops on the block, they be lurking. Bro posted up and ain't nobody nervous. Pop a 30 and bro go berserk. Smoke on my Zod chest starting to hurt. Only go up, I can't go back to nothing. Really feel like that shit really works. Like I remember when I was in church, and I ain't wanna give them a lurk. Niggas got shit to say when they ain't in the position. Gotta focus, some niggas don't listen.